property. The header is customized to the property.
That piece of sheet, I mean, that piece of paper.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, I think I remember reading that if it's the same person and they have more than one property, if they're similar in nature, then we don't have to swear in. I mean,
I don't think that's right.
okay.
So when this
We have one
person
for each.
is ready to be brought in, you admit them, just like you're going to admit.
Kathy, be careful looking your book.
Right? Yeah.
You
Okay.
can tell Ramona to,
Cyan.
Okay, but they're gonna be admit by phone, so they won't.
No. He's calling Zoom because our phones are being unreliable.
Okay.
Our phones are not. They're cutting in and out. So they're calling the Zoom phone line instead. We'll wait for Ramona to get here.
Let's see.
Do we need to unmute? Is music muted? Can you unmute?
Gentlemen,
Almost.
What?
there's Ramona.
Yay!
All right,
62.
are we ready for the property owner to be brought in?
Yeah.
What are we doing now?
We're doing the next
You ready?
hearing,
It's,
762.
Okay,
762.
got it.
Then they've got another one just after it, 763.
Right here.
Hello,
Who am I talking to?
you're talking to Sammy Averman.
Tammy. This is Charlie Towers. This is the Aransas.
I'm having a
You're
hard time.
cutting out. Yeah, we can't hear you.
Okay, I'm having a hard time hearing y'all.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. All right, we're gonna do some administrivia here, Sammy, so just hang in there with us.
Okay,
Having a hearing on 2020-762, account 28600. This hearing is being recorded. We're the appraisal review board that will be hearing your protest today. At the table, Towers, and by Zoom, Ramona.
okay, you're coming and going again.
What's that?
You're cutting out.
Yes.
Do you have something else on, like a TV or something?
No, it's got to do with you because I'm having the same problem.
But are you hearing back too?
You're cutting out. We can't hear you.
Okay, let me run outside and see if it will be better. Because I didn't have a TV or anything. Hold on just a second. Let me get outside. Okay, is that better?
All right. Then I'll read the next part of the script and you tell me. Control provides electronic survey for you to from your experience today that may be accessed at the appraisal district office or online at surveymonkey.com/r/survey-ARB. The survey is voluntary.
Okay, you're still cutting out. I can't understand you.
But it's, somebody is doing something in their, like paper.
No, it's y'all. I'm telling you, it is you.
Yeah.
We're going to take a chance. Mona, stay there.
Miss Averman, we're gonna
Yes.
ask you to go ahead and hang up, and we're gonna call you on your phone number.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I'll do that. Thank you.
Except for square.
Hello?
Okay, let's try again. You have the right to appeal our decision. Appeal information will be provided to you with our determination. In accordance with Tax Code Section 41.45H, all written material that has not been provided must be provided at this time. I'm assuming that we have all of your evidence in the affidavit. Is that correct?
Yes, I sent you a copy of everything in both affidavits.
Okay. The ARB members who are considering the protest have not communicated with anyone about the protest and are signing affidavits to that effect. And I'll begin with I, Charles Farris, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code 4166F.
I, Kathy Kaufman, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with the person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F.
I, Cindy Duck, do solemnly swear that I've not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F.
I, Robert Dayton, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F.
I, Ramona LeBlanc, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code 41.66F, and I'm signing it to that effect, and I'm physically located in Texas.
Valerie Smith, I'm the notary public who is witnessing Ms. LeBlanc's signature via Zoom, and I am physically located in Texas.
Testimony from all witnesses must be given under oath. Ma'am, I'm assuming that you are under oath as a result of having signed the affidavit. Do you understand?
Yeah, but I'm still having a hard time hearing you, but yes, I did sign the affidavit.
And we're assuming that by virtue of that, you're under oath for the duration of this hearing.
That I'm what?
You're under oath,
Oh, okay,
right?
right.
Okay.
I request that we solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony shall present to the appraisal review board for the Aransas County Appraisal District is true. Correct.
Ma'am, are you a licensed appraiser? I have to ask this question.
Am I a what?
A licensed appraiser?
No.
Okay. The state says I have
I'm
to.
still having a hard time hearing you. You're just real soft.
Okay. Do you have with you the procedure times page, the hearing procedure times?
The appraisal page with the procedure time?
Yes.
Yes, I have both of those here in front of me.
Okay. You can go first, or you can have the district go first. Which would you choose to do?
Okay, well, I can go first.
Okay. In that case, you have 5 minutes.
Okay, on my property lot that I have here, on one of these, it covers my land, and the other one, it covers the improvements on the land. When I purchased these lots, there was 2 old sheds that was on them. And they were included in the price that I gave for the lots. So I sent you some paperwork showing what I had paid for the lots, and that the shed price was included in those. In other words, pretty well the sheds were free because they're old and need a lot of work. And that is, hold on just a second. And on the carport, y'all had it valued at $5,630. I sent you information of what showed that we paid $46.71.34. So, we're being appraised at a lot more than what we have spent. Now, I had a friend that called y'all and talked to y'all too, and he was told that the reason y'all went up on the price of taxes for Mobile Village was because they were selling for more money. They're not. All the last sales have been using a realtor, which makes the sales price go up, not the value of the property. But anyway, I would just like for you to consider looking at taking another look at this, then as I'm being taxed at a value that is more than what I gave for it, and I sent in the information where I paid the checks. I sent all of that into y'all for y'all to take a look at. And do you want me to go ahead and do both of them or just one?
Just one.
Okay,
We'll do the other one next.
Okay. That's my biggest deal with these is that I paid a lot less than what y'all are valuing it at. And I also have a question, is the land value, well, no, it wasn't on that one, hold on. Something here, okay, the market value is one amount and the median equity value is more. And I was just wondering what the difference in these is.
Can you answer that, Ray?
Yes, I can. The market value is the value that we place on your property. And
I cannot hear you.
the market value is the value that we placed on your property.
Okay,
The median value is the median value of the comps. So if there is, let me look real quick and see how many comps there are. Let me look at that.
okay, I still can hear you.
He's looking at his paperwork.
Okay, yeah, cause I can't hear him.
Sorry. So can you hear me right now?
Can I what?
Can you hear me?
Just barely, not enough to know what you're saying.
Okay.
Can we turn up the volume on that phone, or can you move over there by it?
Sure, I can try that and see.
That's better.
You can hear me if I sit right here?
Yes,
All right. We can do that. That's very easy.
it's different.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so the market value pertains to the value that we place on your property or a property. And it's going to be,
Okay.
market value is going to contain both land and improvements.
Okay,
Okay, in this case, the median value is the middle of these four comps. It's if there was three, it would pick the one in the middle. If it's four, it's gonna get an average essentially of it.
oh, okay, average of the comps.
Essentially, yeah, it's gonna find middle ground where you should be. Like you shouldn't be on the high end, you shouldn't be on the low end, you should be found somewhere in the middle. It's a little easier when there's an odd number of comps because then it'll actually pick a specific one instead of taking instead of adding and dividing. It'll pick the one in the middle. You know.
Okay,
So if there was three comps,
Yeah.
it's gonna pick the second comp, the one that sits in the middle, and yeah. And if there was five, it would pick the third. And so,
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I was looking at that and I thought, well, what's the difference in that?
Yeah.
Okay, that explains all of that. Okay, I'm through. I was just trying to, I've got 4 lots and I gave a lot less for them than what y'all have valued them at. And the sheds were included in that cost and they were just like falling apart.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go into I have a couple of minutes to ask you some questions.
Okay,
And I have and I'm gonna do my presentation. When did you purchase it?
okay, we purchased it the first of, I think we got the lots in February,
Of,
Of what year?
February or March or something. I sent y'all a copy of the checks. I've got
I didn't.
copies of that here too somewhere, but I sent you copies of all the checks where I made the payments.
So the first of the year 2019.
Yes, the first check I wrote, it looks like was January 26th of 19.
Yes.
I sent him another one,
I got you. I'm seeing
January
it.
27th. Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you, Sammy. I see that. All right, so you purchased in January of 2019 and
Okay, that's when we got the lots, the first 3 lots.
Yeah.
And then, we bought the property next door to us to get the old mobile home tore down. It cost us $5,000 to get it tore down, but we wanted it gone. And so we have that lot. We have one of those lots, and I gave $7,000, I think, for that one.
okay. So we can talk about these sales over here for a second. I'll bring them up real quick here. There's a few sales in your neighborhood there. You're at 121 Munson.
Yeah.
And 120 Munson sold for $29,000. 174 Munson sold for $31,000.
They all used realtors.
okay, and now you're going into your presentation time.
And number 103 Munson sold for, no, I'm sorry, I got.
Sold for 25,000.
Okay. I moved and I think I may have left papers over there. It's printed on the back of one of these. They print all over the back of them. What was comp number 3?
It was 113 Munson for 25,000.
For 25,000. Okay. So, Sammy, I guess what your biggest beef is just that there's an inflated cost when there's a realtor involved versus if someone does a for sale by owner, then there's a much better opportunity to get a deal, to get a better price. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, well, we were told that the prices went up on Mobile Village because the values went up. And that's not necessarily true. And 113 also includes 111, so that's 2 lots on that sale.
Okay.
And
go ahead. Were you done talking?
oh yeah, I'm just trying to understand why my tax rates are based on more than what I gave for the property.
Yeah. Well, you gave for the property in 2019, right?
Right.
So there's a difference now because it's going to be our opinion that you made a good purchase. It's going to be your opinion that everybody else kind of made a crummy purchase. So we're presenting evidence of 3 sales. Some of these sales, like 120 Munson has, is only, the land square footage is it's less than 1,500 square feet. And it sold for 29. 174 Munson, the land square footage is 1,655 square feet, and it sold for 31. And there's another comp, but it didn't get printed out with my package, so I'm struggling here, but I think I'm getting closer to it. And it is
Is it 113?
113 Munson, and it's 2,900 square feet, and it sold for 25. And 174 Morrow Street is 4,700 square feet, and it sold for 33,000. That's 4 comps within the last year all selling for north of 25,000. All of them are less square footage than yours. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what, I really don't. I guess what I would say is this, giving the data we have, it would say that you made a very good purchase compared to what other people paid. That's what we would say. That would be our official opinion, is you did a good job. Not that everybody else did a bad job. Our opinion is that you did a good job. That's how I would answer this.
Okay.
And to be honest with you, I don't have anything else to say. Those cells there's 4 of them. They're all right next to you, essentially. There's nothing in there that's far away. It's just, you know what I mean? It's kind of overwhelming data. At the end of the day, Sammy, I would take the shed values to 0 and change your carport value to what you're saying you paid for it in a heartbeat. But the bummer of it is it's not going to change your value by $1,200, if I do that. It's just it's insignificant. So it's all right with you. I'm going to say I'm done as far as our evidence, and you get to ask me questions if you want to now.
Okay, one thing I did want to mention is nowhere on any of it does it show that this is homesteaded, and I was not given a tax sealing certificate either. I homesteaded and did over 65 the first part of January. I think it was the 3rd or the 4th. But nothing about that was mentioned.
Put that back out, Scott, please. The thing you took away. Okay. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
I'm going to say you phrase that as a question, and I'm going to answer it, okay?
Okay.
Scott, if you'll put that, okay. Or everybody's on
She's
your,
in her cross-examine time.
I show it on the paperwork as she has both the homestead and over age 65.
that's all I was going to show everybody, is that on the property card, there's a homestead and over 65 exemption. Why, it's there, it's on the account.
She should have a copy of that.
So, yeah, it's good. The tax sealing certificate, did you transfer one, Sammy, from somewhere else?
Yes, from Ellis County in Waxahachie. And when I came and down and did that, well, I showed her the tax sealing certificate that I had in Waxahachie.
Sure.
And so, yeah. I don't know what
Scott,
she did,
you want
but
to open that account up? We'll take a look at this account. This is not the job that an appraiser does, but can you go to the exemptions there, Scott? We'll try to, it's the 4th one from the top. We will try to figure out here if we can tell if a tax sealing certificate has been applied to this account.
Okay. And the homestead is already listed on the card.
Yes, it's on the card.
Go to details, Scott. Let's see if it says you get transfer percentage. See, you can't see it real well, but there's a transfer percentage right here of 54%. That means that her tax sealing certificate has been transferred. She transferred a tax sealing certificate from, I think you said Waxahachie, is that right?
Waxahachie.
So it's in there, Sammy, it's in there. Your 2 exemptions, your homestead, your over 65, and your tax sealing certificate, all of those are in there. And I guess you know that the tax sealing certificate is only going to be a modifier for that school district. You know what I mean? When you transfer from county to county, not within a county, but from another county, your tax sealing percentage is applied to the school district. So for you, it'll be the Aransas CAD school district.
Okay.
It's there.
Okay, yeah,
It's there, Sammy. It's there and it's doing what it's supposed to do.
Cindy, where are we?
She still has another minute left in her, deal, in asking questions or whatever.
Okay.
Ma'am, so keep going if you have other questions or things you're not clear on.
okay, I think you pretty well covered it, and, some of the questions even covered what I was gonna ask. On, the other, I was just curious as to why, on the other one, you got the market on the house. You've got the market value is 58,980,
Wait a minute,
Sammy,
and then the.
Sammy.
Ma'am, ma'am,
you
we
need
have to talk about the house on the next hearing.
Oh, okay.
We have to
Okay,
close
she
this one.
understands.
Our time now?
Well,
Are you all done?
it's still hers, so hold up, and then, okay, and then if the district wants a rebuttal,
I'm done.
okay, so ma'am, now you have a 1-minute closing.
Okay, I don't have any more questions. I just want to say thank you for your help and taking your time to help me understand all of this.
Oh, there are no boxes checked. So we just need a motion to
Well,
indicate that the
is
question.
market
There is a
value-
box to check.
I show market value, and I think that we should bring it down to the 4960, 44,960.
See the box checked, Ramona.
oh,
It was on the one paper.
Not on the protest form.
The affidavit of evidence has the exemption.
Sure, Ramona, but apparently it's not any foreign, so we can't do anything.
wait, did she write in something on that? Wait, hold, what's written on her, it has to be the protest form, I know, but when it's kind of clear what she's asked,
No, it's not. It's not on there.
Not on there. Section 4 is what structure.
They're questions. They're not,
They're all on
Nothing about
skid
the-
beds.
nothing about the box. So all we need is a motion that
Go ahead. and-
indicates that the questions have been answered.
Yes, my questions have been answered, but I would like to go ahead and get a discount in the sheds and stuff.
okay, hold up, okay? So, on account 28600,
Yes,
based upon what we've heard from the appraisal district and from the property owner, because no boxes were checked, I make a motion that we have to stick with the current values, the current property value for 2020 of $46,910.
Second? All in favor? All right.
okay, I didn't hear that.
What are we gonna do?
They're saying that we can't remove that because,
We can't. He
wait,
can.
something says other on my sheet of paper, and I just want to clarify that.
That was the shed.
Hey, Sammy.
Yes,
So she said other, so we
No,
can't.
she didn't.
Sammy, you know, on this other account over here, this one that we're about
On the
to handle,
sheet,
it's
they
the mobile
Protest
home
form.
account.
Protest.
Yeah.
form.
They're the ones that put it on.
Did you want to go through with that, or are
Protest
you okay with
And
after? It looks like we
supposedly that's from
answered
the
your
protest
questions
form.
pretty much.
It's not.
okay, if you can just verify that the market value
No.
is 58,980 is what that is,
Yeah, and your exemptions are on that account.
and the exemptions are on that account.
That's correct.
Oh.
So that account is fine. Are you okay with that?
I'm okay with that.
So what we're gonna do is, we're gonna get you on the phone with an appraiser, and they are gonna, do you work with email?
Yeah.
We can email you something, you can sign it and email it back to us?
Yes,
We're gonna send you a settlement on, that's a no change settlement on the mobile home, okay?
okay,
On this real property account, we're gonna send you a settlement that is gonna have the shed values removed, and it's gonna have your carport at the cost that you said. It's
okay,
not gonna be a big change, but it's gonna be a change, okay?
okay.
Thank you for being upfront and honest with us. Sorry about the phone troubles, but one thing that we need from you, since we're gonna do it this way, we're shooting from the hip here. We need you to, we need to get this done.
Okay.
So we're gonna, we need to be emailed to you, which we'll have it emailed to you in about 20 minutes. And
Okay.
then we need you to take care of it and email it back to us, okay?
Okay, I'll do that.
And we'll,
I'll be watching for it.
and the email address of SammyEarl6@gmail.
Yes,
Okay. Okay, piece of cake.
okay, thank you.
Yep, you bet.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay.
So this
Hearing
motion
is
passed or did not pass?
So
What happened here?
We're gonna settle. is what
Okay,
Well,
so we're
she
gonna-
needs to tell us that she withdraws her, because if she did a letter of protest, then we've got to make, she has to
I'm
say
gonna get
she
settlements on all of
withdraws,
it.
I
No,
think.
she doesn't.
There's a no-show. There's a
We
no-show.
had a motion.
There's two things, Charlie.
No, but they-
She's not doing her second one.
Isn't he
You
gonna-
can shake your head.
No.
There's one that we just heard. that they just made a
The
motion
settlement
and
on the
motion
second
sitting
one-
out here.
We never opened the hearing on it.
No, she didn't talk about that. We're talking about the 46,910 that we just approved. And didn't he just say he was gonna take the value of the shed off?
Yeah, but he's doing that on a settlement.
He is on settlement.
So
Our-
that
our
isn't
motion
to us.
passed. We left it as a board. We left it at 46,910.
So he's gonna change it, but, okay.
Yeah, he's gonna do it as a
Just
settlement.
say motion
But what's
passed.
gonna happen to the
I'm saying-
second case?
She's just gonna sign a form,
She's a no-show,
Deny.
so therefore it doesn't-
not a no-show, that she agrees to what they have. So we never heard the protest, so it just goes between her and the appraisal district.
no, I know, but we've also, when what we've heard has been,
We didn't open the hearing at all.
we gave them that ruling.
We haven't opened this hearing yet.
No hearing open.
It's like this never took place.
I'm not talking about that. I understood that clearly.
I think.
I said she was a no-show, so it's done. But what I'm saying is last week, we heard, because something was obviously a specific thing, because what they were doing fell under a specific definition. So it's very
If the
confusing.
box isn't checked, you don't rule on it.
Because we did this.
Hold on. I'll email her 45,200 for this. Okay. Hey, and like we just do it like right now. She'll get it real fast.
Yeah.
Good job, Frank.
Hey, Jackie,
Jackie.
after you email, call that number and tell her that you emailed it.
Do what?
After you email her, call her. Her name is Sammy. Tell her that you emailed it and tell her you need to get them back.
Okay.
Where's?
I'm right here. So we've got our next case up. Donna will tell you what it is.
It's case number 2020-951, Jerry Ayers.
The phone or evidence?
On the bottom of the.
It is not, what it was to be a phone hearing. He did not call in. He checked the box for telephone hearing. You can see it there on the affidavit form. So the way Mike's interpreted that is that means that we can hear it by affidavit if he does not call in.
Right.
Sounds good.
Do we have anybody else?
Not for this docket.
This is 3 o'clock.
This is the 1:30 docket.
What do we have at 3 then?
Well, possibly, we've got a possibility of 4. Looks like maybe 1.
Oh, okay.
Can we read letters?
And we need to read letters.
All right.
Okay, this is the affidavit hearing then. Opening hearing 2020-951, account 19338. This is an affidavit hearing. This hearing is being recorded. We're the appraisal review board that will be hearing the protest today. Present at the table are Cindy Duck, Kathy Hoffman, Robert Dayton, and Ramona Blanc is on Zoom. We have everybody here. We do not work for the appraisal district. We are appointed to perform an independent review of the protest. Protester has the right to appeal our decision. Appeal information will be provided to the protester with our determination. In accordance with Tax Code Section 4145H, all written material is assumed to have been provided with the affidavit. ARB members who are considering the protest have not communicated with anyone about the protest and are signing affidavits to that effect. I'll start with I, Charles Parrish, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F.
I, Kathy Hoffman, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with the person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F.
I, Cindy Duck, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F.
I, Robert Dayton, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F.
I, Ramona LeBlanc, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F, and I'm signing to that effect, and I'm physically located in Texas.
And I, Valerie Smith, am witnessing Ms. LeBlanc's signature. I am physically located in Texas.
All testimony from all witnesses must be given under oath. I'm assuming the protester is under oath as they sign the affidavit.
I, Ray Presley, do solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony I shall present to the appraisal review board for the Aransas County Appraisal District is true and correct.
District representative will now read the affidavit into the record.
Okay. Property affidavit of evidence, Jerry Lynn Ayers is the owner in Section 1. Section 2, property is at 504 North 11th Street in Fulton, Texas, 78358. Section 3, reasons for protest, value is unequal compared with other properties. And 5, this is the arguments that may help resolve your case. Small plain house, period. If I tried to sell at appraisal value, never would work because of a lot of areas around it. Some are run down, unkept, or haven't had attention for years. Some streets need attention. Says improvements of 51,760. I intend to appear by telephone conference, but it has a signed affidavit here on June the 16th of 2020. Notary on Blair. And that is the end of their affidavit, the end of their evidence. Well, actually, there's photos. There's photos. I'm assuming you guys can see the photos. We can bring it up here on the board and maybe make an effort to look at it aerial from aerial photography and see it. Oh, no, that would be our evidence, I think, Scott.
The photos are in your evidence?
No, I thought that was our evidence?
Yeah, as part of his evidence.
Here we go. Here we go.
that part
Is
of
it at
your
the
end.
end?
So here's some photos. Let's look through the photos and then let's just see what we got here. That's the back. It's okay. All right, so they're upside down. See if you can spin it around there. Okay, this is a house that looks to be moved on site house from that photo. We'll confirm some stuff here in a minute. Photo of junk. Take it through a car window. It's a little hard to see. Go ahead. And picture of the street, I think, in some ditch area there. Go ahead. And grass. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's concrete steps. All right. Sounds a little rough. Just go to the next one. Get to one that has got some visibility if there is one. All right, let's look at this. Let's look from the sky. See if we can make heads or tails. The basic complaint is that the area is run down.
Oh, so that's like across the street or whatever?
Well, it's the area. So let's.
I recognize some of these properties off of Myrtle Beach. They're close to the shelter.
All right. You're zoomed in a little close there, Scott. There we go. Okay, in case you're wondering where we're at here, this is Mesquite. This is 35. That's the Hampton Inn.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And I don't know what that is.
Fire department.
Fire department, okay. And here's the property. So there was photos taken. I don't know for sure. I mean, there was obviously was a photo of this. Remember the metal building? I'm not sure exactly where the other photos are. There was a photo of a mobile home. It could be this one. I'm guessing. I don't know. But anyway, this is the area. If you're familiar with this area, you're, like I said, here's 35, there's Hampton, and that is, what's the name of the park? Woody Acres, I believe. That's Woody Acres. Is that right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's Woody.
that's by boat in.
And
Yeah.
so the boat end's further back?
Further that way.
Okay,
further that
cool.
way. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, y'all feel good about knowing where it's at?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you, Kathy?
Okay. So that's the end of their evidence. Take a look at ours real quick here. What was checked?
There are more pictures in here.
There's tons of pictures.
There's more pictures.
Oh,
in
okay.
here.
Q2 was checked.
Show the photos, Scott, for sure.
Maybe
Some
it's-
duplicates.
That's the same thing. They were just scanned twice.
What?
That happens. That's the photo of the road with the fence behind it.
There's a lot of junk.
Yeah, they were just scanned twice. Okay, let's go on to the.
Where are you going?
That one might be it.
What was that?
Just.
There's the
That's the
Hampton.
Hampton.
Yeah.
So that's,
The back side of it, so it's facing his street.
Okay. So equity is checked, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, equity is checked. So here the property is 504 North 11th. We have a value of 121, 140. Last year we had a value of 97,990. I believe we had a land value change in this area. Equity grid are property on Laurel, property on Henderson, and a property on Fifth. What do I think about that? Oh, it's because we were comping this this class, this 3 MBL masonry block. It's hard to comp. Okay, so the equity comes out at 132,328. Yeah. Okay, you know, the angle that the taxpayer, the owner is presenting here is not anything that we disagree with. We agree with them. It would be nice if this part of town was cleaned up. It would be nice. So I think that's it, guys. We haven't added any years to the house. We haven't done anything to it. The land over there sells a little better now than it used to, you know?
Is it a house or a mobile home?
It's a house. I think it was moved on site. That class is probably wrong.
So that blue thing up on Bricks, that was it?
I think so. Let's go to Picto, Scott.
I have a picture of it next door.
I don't know.
Let's make sure real quick here. I think it is.
The blue house
Well,
that's up on
It
stills.
looks like it was empty.
It is, it's empty, and that is this
It
structure
looks like it's caught on fire.
right there.
Oh, okay.
No, wait a minute, hang on, that's Mesquite. The house I'm thinking of is actually on Myrtle Lee,
Scott, will
because
you,
you see it as you go into the animal shelter.
will you get off of the top down view? Yeah, there you go. There we go. And then zoom in.
Oh, so see, that in blue. So you're right, that it didn't rain.
So that other house was just a house somewhere in this area, guys, that he was pointing to. It was being moved on site. This is a 3 MBL house.
And MVL is what now?
Masonry block. It's cinder block. It's a cinder block home.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Wow.
It's a cinder block home. Equity proves up 132,328. Market value that we have is 121,140. I don't have anything else to say. The district closes.
Is it our time then to discuss?
Well, all that's checked is empty.
Yeah. Seeing that the equity value is upheld.
Well, okay. Except if you go to the subject and comp number 3. Well, yeah, it is. It still is, sorry.
I don't see anything that causes me to think it should have changed.
I don't either.
No.
So Ramona, you have any thoughts different?
No.
Okay, so based upon what we've heard from the appraisal district and from the affidavit sent in by the property owner, along with their evidence on account number 19338. And I believe that we have considered the appraisal ratio exceeding the median level of the appraisal. We actually demonstrated the opposite. So I make a motion that we leave the 2020 value as it is.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, hearing is closed. Are you gonna stand on side of the table? I understand
I guess.
the line part, okay. Move you up just a little bit. You can sit in this.
There you go. Is that good?
That's good.
Do we have 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 or 3 o'clock.
Okay.
We have 4 more, 3 o'clock.
We don't know yet.
All righty then. Thank. I know, y'all shut me off. Yeah. Got it.
unmuted her.
Why do they check these or some ridiculous?
Ramona?
Yeah.
I wanted to let you know Beth is sending you
Some
the
people don't have-
affidavit for
some
this
people are not in
account.
jurisdiction.
And then she'll follow up with the second affidavit. Will you be able to print that out before we
Not unless
begin?
not unless someone protests.
When are you beginning?
Shortly, but Beth should have emailed it to you.
The SAR.
It's just my computer is slow. That's why I
Okay.
asked.
Okay.
I have no idea.
I'll put,
But I'll go start it up and we'll see how quick it goes.
okay, and we won't do that again. We'll just be sure that we have everything to you that you could possibly need. I apologize.
Okay, that's okay.
Thank you.
Here is
City of
in there.
I didn't realize. I was
Ramona,
doing
did you
that.
get that by email?
No, Kathy, do not even say that.
See it and it's getting ready to open up.
Okay.
Flip this up here.
Coconut?
Oh, I coconut.
So did you not like it?
No.
What? That's what you get for
You're on.
taking one of
Yeah,
my
I know.
almond joys.
I've unmuted it so I can hear Ramona. Just to let y'all know. We're on.
Okay, ready? Are we ready to
I don't
let
think
Mr.
so.
Vasquez in?
No, we're gonna make sure Miss Ramona has her affidavit she can sign.
He has his back to me. That's kind of weird. But you know what? When he makes faces, I can see his ears move.
Just let us know when you have it, Ramona. Thank you.
Did you decorate all the 4th of July? It is darling. I was like going, I wonder who did all this. And then I was looking at your outfit and I was like, what a cute boy. And I was like, I know who decorated now.
Everybody's.
An affidavit to sign.
So it's printing out.
Yes.
That's a jet printer.
It's okay.
Okay, they're printing right now.
We can tell.
Okay, so we can go ahead and get started, right?
Yes. I
Yes,
can-
ma'am, I've got them. I got one. The other one's printing, I think. All right,
Mr. Vasquez is on now.
I'm here.
Mr.
which one are we doing first?
We are opening a hearing on 2020-83. 838, account number 20295.
Okay.
Mr. Vasquez?
Yes, hello.
Yeah, this is Charlie Thomas with the Appraisal Review Board. We're gonna have to go through some administrivia for just a minute here, so just bear with us, okay?
Okay, I'm going to put you on mute, but I can unmute just by pushing my space bar. All right?
You'll get your chance. This hearing is recorded. We are the Appraisal Review Board. They'll be hearing your protest today. At the table is Charlie Powers, myself, Cindy Duck, Kathy Hoffman, Robert Dayton, and Paula LeBlanc by Zoom. We do not work for the appraisal district. We are appointed to perform an independent review of your protest. Comptroller's office provides an electronic survey for you to offer feedback about your experience today that may be accessed at the appraisal district office or online at surveymonkey.com/r/surveyarb. The survey is voluntary, but we would like you to take it. You also have the right to appeal our decision. Appeal information will be provided to you with our determination. In accordance with Tax Code Section 4145H, all written material that has not been provided must be provided at this time. Mr. Sylvia, Mr. Vasquez, I'm assuming that all of your evidence has been provided with your affidavit. Is that correct?
I think he muted us.
Okay.
He muted us.
But he said he could unmute.
Right, but I'm gonna have to ask him to unmute. Okay.
Okay. That's correct.
Okay, good, thank you. ARB members who are considering the protest have not communicated with anyone about the protest and are signing affidavits to that effect. And I shall begin with Charles Powers, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with any person in violation of Texas Tax Code Section 41.66.
Kathy Hoffman, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with the person in violation of Texas Tax Code Section 41.66F.
I, Cindy Duck, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F.
I, Robert Dayton, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F.
I, Ramona LeBlanc, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F and signing to that effect, and I'm physically located in Texas.
My name is Valerie Smith. I am the notary public who is witnessing Ms. LeBlanc's signature via Zoom, and I am also physically located in Texas.
All testimony from all witnesses must be given under oath. I am assuming, Mr. Vasquez, that you are,
Yes.
as you have signed the affidavit, you'll be under oath for the duration of this hearing. Do you understand?
I do.
Okay, thank you.
I Ray President, swear to affirm that the testimony.
That's Sylvia.
Appraisal Review Board.
I don't see his
or the,
signature on
It
this.
says Sylvia Vasquez.
His affidavit, it says Rudy, right? The affidavit,
Yes.
Rudy Vasquez from Bear County.
He is the agent.
Oh, all right.
He's the agent on the account.
Got it.
Mr. Vasquez, do you hold a appraiser's license?
A what?
An appraiser's license?
I do not.
Okay. Do you have at your fingertips the hearing procedure times chart? It shows the various portions of the hearing that we're going to go through.
Okay.
With times on it. Do you have that?
I read it. I don't have it in front of me.
Okay. Well, you're familiar with it, so we'll just prompt you as we go along. Is that okay?
Yes, please.
All right. Now, first question is, do you want to go first or do you want the district to go first?
I'll have the district go first. I don't recall reading, is there a burden of proof in this kind of hearing? Or is it just kind of like whatever y'all decide, or how does that work?
Burden of proof on the first two protest reasons, market value and equity are on the district, and the burden of proof on the rest is on you.
But
Okay.
And we just need to call to attention that while the affidavit says median equity, that the protest form is incorrect appraised market value, and that is what what the appraisal district has determined we go by. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I do not, but that's okay. I'm hard of hearing, so if y'all could speak up just a little bit.
Okay, well, the problem is your affidavit is Q1 and Q2 checked, and the protest form only has incorrect appraised market value. And we can only rule on those things that are checked in the protest form.
Okay, I believe I understand that then.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll just have to, I guess, see if go ahead.
All right, we're gonna go into the district evidence. There's a Picto, this is another property that's located in the Cape McCann or the Harbor Oaks Canoe Lake area. Value is $308,010. Actual build date and effective year are the same, 1970, 4SS minus. Going to the cells grid. Cell on Crescent Drive, which is a dry lot. So for 289, February of 19, comes out to 316,505. Comp number 2 is on Cape McCann, 2207. Subject is 2209. 2207 Cape McCann sold for 470. There is a rather large adjustment. You can tell if you look at class, there is a 2-class difference here. And there is 35 years difference in effective age. With a that's $130,000 or so worth of adjustments. Comp number 3, 2404 Lakeview, sold in March 2020, sold for $650. Again, there's lots of adjustments here that have to do with land, they have to do with class, they have to do with effective age. Comp number 4, Cape Charles, 2207 Cape Charles, sold for 464,070. Again, you're gonna see big adjustments, well over $100,000 in adjustments. They're given a value of 344,277. A lot of these comps actually have a very similar, if not exact, actual build date. You'll notice that on comp 2, you'll notice that on comp 4. The build date is identical. However, the effective age on those two comps has changed. The fact that the subject is relatively low class for the area, being a 4-, and it still has a 1970 effective age, is going to give us comps that have large adjustments in them. So when you look at the comps, one of the things you'll notice is comp number 1, although it's a dry lot, has the best looking adjustment. It's actually the worst comp of all of them, but it looks to be the best. And that's because the land adjustment counteracts everything, and it spits out, this number that looks like it's a good comp. Technically speaking, it's dry, it's not on Canoe Lake. The other comps with the large adjustments are better. The median value on these sales is 321,591, and please tell me I picked the right one to talk about. Yes. You did. Okay, I'm gonna skip over equity. You guys can.
Pardon? I'm not able to see the screen at all. Is there a way that the operator can share screen?
If he's on Zoom.
Yeah, I think there is.
Wouldn't you have gotten this material?
Didn't you have this material?
Did you ask for evidence when you did this, sir?
I don't recall.
You didn't get an evidence package, Rudy?
I probably did. I just don't recall seeing the screen you're showing. It's hard for me to see, but that's okay. If you can't do it technology-wise, I understand.
I don't think we're ready to do that because you're on a phone call.
No, I'm on video. I'm on video. I can see you.
Yeah, so just y'all try to waste some time for a second. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Maybe because with Ramona, remember the issue if there's two,
Stuff going on.
if there's two people, it may not.
I think if you're the host can, there's a little feature there, right? For share screen.
We're getting.
We're technically challenged.
Okay, no worries.
They got an IT guy there. He's going to get him.
Okay.
I see him walking in.
Can you see it?
Yes, thank you so much.
All right, good.
Okay.
You want to go back to this real quick?
So, Cindy, will you lead him into his 2 minutes and he can ask questions? You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. So your name is Rudy?
Rudy, you can call me Rudy.
Okay. So Rudy, you've got 2 minutes to cross-examine and then 5 minutes to present. So are you okay with, why don't you just go ahead and start asking, look at this and go ahead and ask your questions now that you're able to see it, okay?
Okay, just give me 1 second just to review it.
When you want me to page up and down, just let me know.
Okay, thank you. It won't be that long.
Thank you, Amy.
Okay, I can proceed.
All right, so we're starting with your 2 minutes of cross-examine and then you'll have 5 for presentation.
Okay, so I guess my main concern was not that it increased, more like the amount of the increase. And so I see that they increased the land value based on comps. Is that correct?
The land is still the same as last year.
This last year.
Okay, and then I misread that. I apologize. So it's just on the value of the improvements then?
Correct.
By 6,000 approx, or 5,500.
Okay, and was that based on comps then?
That's correct. The comps that we provided there, Rudy.
The ones that we just discussed?
Yes.
sir. There may be.
Okay. And if I understood the presentation, it was our house was correctly identified as having the lowest quality value in terms of the build and any changes. Is that accurate? I mean, it was not designated as a level of a custom home or anything like that.
It is also correct.
Okay.
Rudy,
Because I apologize.
Go ahead.
So I guess my concern is the house next door to us, which was used as one of the comps, was a custom home. And almost every one of these homes that have been presented are homes that, as you guys correctly indicated, have all been upgraded, where our house has not had any kind of major remodeling. The only thing that we replaced after the hurricane was the garage that got blown out, and it didn't get remodeled. It just got basically repaired. It was pretty beat up. So we did add value to that, but we have not had any substantive remodel to the house other than new paint. And that is my concern. I think that I just did not expect the increase to be that. I thought it would be around half of what it was raised to. And so that's why I wanted the appeal. And that's all I have. And that can be actually my closing argument too.
So
For the rest.
Rudy,
Uh-huh.
so when you looked at those comps that we got up on the screen so that you could look at those,
Yeah.
on there's adjustment numbers. So yes, these might be different homes. I mean, I don't know, because I had nothing to do with that. I'm on the review board, so I had nothing to do with those numbers. But those adjustments are because of the differences. So that's where that number at the bottom, like on comp number 1, I think it comes out to 316,505. That's after all the differences have been accommodated. And that's on all of them. They don't just pick a house and say, well, because it's in the neighborhood or on the street, that's the same. There's certain values that are added or subtracted based on which is appropriate to make it more like your house. So the number has a reasoning to it.
Okay. I guess I understood. Yeah, it sounded like they were discounting, the fact that it was, there was something about it differently that, that they thought a discount could have been made. I just think that the amount of discount, I don't know if there's any variance in that, or that's more of a gray area, or in terms of there's a formula between a whatever they call a step 1 home versus a step 3 or 4 custom home or not. But that's where my concern was, whether there was, the amount of discount that was considered in the decision.
I don't know. You might want to ask the district. I think I don't know. You'd have to ask them. I'm pretty sure it's a set formula, but.
Okay. Well, can I still ask that question?
Yeah.
Okay, well, so are these a set formula? How do they determine, like that house next to me, originally that was a $900,000 house before the hurricane. And it was just leveled to studs inside after that. So, I could, it should have been discounted, before the hurricane, but I don't know how that would work nowadays. But my point is, can you tell me how these discounts are evaluated? Is it a uniform formula? Is it, based on the number of years difference? Is it the permits that have been issued for the house or anything like that?
Rudy, can you tell me what you mean by discounts?
Well, let's say, the house is, I guess my term of discount means that you took a nicer home, but you took that into account. It was either newer than my house, because either newer being it was remodeled, sometime, or adjustments. Okay, adjustments, I guess that's a better term. I apologize.
Can you see that the adjustment, like there's a 4 class and then a 5 class, then there's an adjustment of negative 67,771, and then there's
yes,
that's the adjustment, and it's not arbitrary. It's developed off cost schedules. That
I'm sorry, you broke up on that. It's developed off of what? I couldn't hear. I apologize.
matrices from cost schedules is what it
Okay.
is. How much price per square foot that value is at versus the price per square foot of the other value. And then there's it subtracts out the total number of dollars that would make it like the subject to compare it. Is what
Okay.
saying if this comp was like this house, it would sell for this much.
Okay.
All right, and so now we're in our 2-minute district cross-examine.
I don't have a cross.
Okay, so then we have the 2-minute district rebuttal.
I don't have a rebuttal.
Then we have our protester rebuttal for 2 minutes.
I'll waive that. I'll waive it.
So then we have our 1-minute district closing.
All that I would say about this particular property is that the sales are there. They have large adjustments. There is a difference in class and effective age. The issue with that is because in Harbor Oaks, there are very few 4 SS minuses. There are more, but not that many effective age 1970s. Furthermore, it's my opinion that this house, if it was sold, would fetch more than $350,000 if it was sold. And I think we're at least $50,000 low on this house. At least.
All right, sir, now you get 1 minute for closing.
Okay. Okay, well, first, thank you for providing all that evidence and being patient with my questions here. And also, thank you guys for taking the time to consider this hearing and this appeal or this protest. That's my concern. I just don't think there's that many homes, almost embarrassed to say, but we haven't really done much to this home, and it's still, I just don't think that there was enough comps to adequately increase it to the value of 308. I understand, that there should have been, more comps on my side, but I just didn't see that these were enough to raise it to 308. I thought we would have some small increase, but not to the amount that's requested, and so that's all I have. Thank you guys for your time.
Okay. And then next, the appraisal review board has 5 minutes that we discuss amongst ourselves and come up with our answer as far as your value on your property.
Okie doke.
The one question that I'm having, I just want to make sure, maybe he has a different number, because he keeps referencing such a huge difference. And while 7,000 is certainly an amount of money that I would love, that certainly has value to me.
About 2%.
It's only 7. So are those the numbers that you're looking at, that last year the total value of your property was 301,680?
Let me see. I don't have my packet in front of me, but,
Last year, what we have, and this would be appropriate, is $301,680. So then it went up to 308,000.
okay.
And so that's only a $7,000.
30.
Cindy,
30.
let's see what 2018 was, and that would probably answer a lot of questions right there.
Confusing it with 18 to 19. Can you tell us what 18 was, please?
Get a pen.
18 was 281,900.
And that would be,
I mean,
that would be like almost $10,000.
So
I mean, more than that. Sorry.
Mhm.
So I don't know.
I think that's probably what I did confuse it with. I think I used the 281 number and said, wow, that's a big jump.
Yeah, quite a jump, but it would be.
Okay. All right, so Ramona, are you seeing anything?
No, ma'am, no.
Way below where it needs to be, and I think that this should just prove that it's well below market value, and I would be where it is, and say that they're lucky.
Robert?
Yeah.
And Charlie?
Yeah.
I mean, and me too. So I think the appraisal district's been very fair. So on account number 20295, and I believe that we have looked at and addressed the incorrect appraised market value. I believe that the 2020 value should certainly on the total property should certainly stand as the district has it.
Second,
Second.
in favor?
Aye.
Okay, hearing is closed.
Okay.
You have another one, right, Rudy?
Yeah, I have another one. The ID number is 99375.
Wait, that's different from what I have.
We don't have that.
It's 839, Cindy.
Oh, I'm sorry. The ID number is 65254.
Okay, that's what I was.
Okay, sorry about that. But you know what, on that one, I looked at some of the adjoining properties and I think it's in line. So I'm gonna go ahead and not pursue that one.
So you're gonna,
You're withdrawing?
Withdraw.
Correct.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Right?
Rudy,
Yes.
have you communicated with us by email?
I think you have my wife's email, but I gave you my email, I believe, in the notice of agent, if I remember.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you, Rudy.
Thank you very much.
thank you so much for
Okay.
playing.
Have a good day.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
We have a person waiting, I see.
Got a what?
A person's waiting.
I have no idea. It's a telephone.
We have someone in the waiting room.
Okay, the next person is Mr. Bajan, I'm not sure how to say it, but it's case number 869.
Yep. He's on Zoom.
He on, huh? He's on the phone.
You think he's on the phone?
Does it say Zoom on the?
Well, Scott
It's-
said he's
It's
got it.
but it's admitting by phone, so it's phone number, so it's likely that it's gonna be
on Zoom.
on Zoom, but a telephone on Zoom.
Right, which we would.
Okay, you gonna let him in?
I will right now.
Okay,
Wait, say the number again, I'm sorry.
869.
He's
202-869. Account 63988.
Mr. Bajan is here now.
Mr. Bajan, are you on the?
Thank you.
Yes,
Okay,
good afternoon.
good afternoon, Robert. This is Charlie Powers on the appraisal review board. We have some administrative to handle before we get started, so just follow along with us if you would, please. We're opening a hearing on 2020-869, account number 63988. This hearing is being recorded. We are the appraisal review board that will be hearing your protest today. At the table are Charlie Powers, myself, Cindy Duck, Kathy Hoffman, Robert Dayton, and Ramona LeBlanc is on via Zoom. Ramona, you still there?
I am.
Okay. We do not work for the appraisal district. We are appointed to perform an independent review of your protest. The comptroller's office provides an electronic survey for you to offer feedback about your experience today. That may be accessed at the appraisal district office or online at surveymonkey.com/r/survey ARB. Survey is voluntary, but we do encourage you to take it. You also have the right to appeal our decision. Appeal information will be provided to you with our determination. In accordance with Tax Code Section 41.45H, all written material that has not been provided must be provided at this time. My assumption, Robert, is that all of your evidence has been sent in and with your affidavit. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Thank you. The ARB members who are considering the protest have not communicated with anyone about the protest and are signing affidavits to that effect. And I will begin with I, Charles Powers, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with anyone, is another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F.
I, Kathy Hoffman, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section.
I, Cindy Duck, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F.
I, Robert Dayton, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F.
I, Ramona LeBlanc, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F and am signing to that effect. And I'm physically located in Texas.
I'm Valerie Smith. I am the notary public who is witnessing Ms. LeBlanc's signature, and I am also physically located in Texas.
All testimony from all witnesses must be given under oath. I am assuming, sir, that you are under oath. You can sign the affidavit under oath for the duration of this hearing. Do you understand?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Do you hold an appraiser's license? Robert,
Yes.
you hold an appraiser's license?
No.
Okay.
I, Ray Price, solemnly swear for a primary Pennsylvania shall present to the appraisal review board for the Aransas County Appraisal District.
Thank you. Robert, do you have handy the hearing procedure times? It's a 3-column chart that was sent out with the package from the district.
Yes, I have some information that you sent me.
You have the chart of hearing procedure times?
Well, I got the several thing. I don't know what you're referring to as a chart, but I got this comp prices and everything else that you sent me.
Right. So there's one that's labeled hearing procedure time. It's 4 columns, and it has the times of each element of the hearing. It was page 5.
Okay. Yes, I got page 5.
And is it hearing procedure times?
I'm not, I can't hear it that good. What is that?
Do you have the chart for hearing procedure times?
Yeah.
Very good. Now, would you like to start first, or would you like the district to start first?
I could start first.
Okay, in that case, you have 5 minutes to make your case.
And I just make a brief. The information that you send me, about comps, I look at the square footage, they are below $6. The one right at comp 3, it says $5.25 per square foot. Comp 2 says 4.76 per square foot. And comp 1 shows $6.02 per square feet. My property, if appraisal district went and look at it, there's a lot of erosion on my property, and my square footage right now as it stands is 18,916.281 square foot. It's not a half acre, 21,780 square foot. Even if you put a Google map and look at the property, you can see all the erosion on it. So based on that and the square footage that I see over here is $5 a square foot, $4.76 a square foot, it doesn't come nowhere near $138,000.
Anything else, sir, you would like to tell us or bring to light?
So
No, that's all.
How many acres does he think he has?
18,281 square feet.
18,000,
What is that in acres?
but that's okay, 18,000 what?
It's priced.
It's not in acres.
No, okay, so,
Acres is 43 some thousand square feet.
oh, you're cutting out, oh, God, okay, 18,000. And what?
281.
And the other properties were at what per square foot?
Anything else, sir?
No, if you look at the comp 3, the square footage is right. It's $145,000 price per lot and 27,750 square feet, which is a 0.6 acres. It comes up to be 5.25 per square foot.
Okay.
That's right, the lot next to me, 424 Eagery, and I'm 394. And if you look at the lot on the comp 2, 419 Eagery, it's 476 square foot. And
All
comp
right.
1, which is the highest one, is $6.02 square foot.
Okay.
Comp number 1, 388 Edry.
That's on your.
Sir,
Yes,
is comp 1 388 Eggery?
yes.
Okay, thank you.
And you need the address for the other ones too? Comp 2 is 419.
No, yeah, we've
Okay.
got that. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Cindy, where are we at?
Well, he still has another minute. Sir, you'd have.
No, and also I think with affidavit, there's a active list of MLS A as Adam 133191A, 4 acres listed for the $300,000. That turns out to be like a 3.5 square foot. It's right on the bay. On the address on that is 840 Eagery Island.
Okay.
Okay, and so which one were you saying was lower than you per square foot?
If I count the per square foot, none of them are. They're all of them below my square foot. On comp 3, it turns out it's a 525 a square foot. It says $145,000, but that's a 0.6 acres.
691
And that's a wrong. There's some miscalculation because the $145,000 over 27,750 comes up 525, not 691.
All right, so now, the district has 2 minutes to cross-examine.
Mr. Or Robert, right? Robert? How did you get such an exact measurement for your square footage?
If you go on Google Earth on a computer, I clicked points of 40 points on the lot.
Yes, sir.
And comes out, it shows 1,757.38 square meters.
I understand.
And if you converted that to the square footage, that's when it becomes 18,000.
Okay, that's great. The next thing I would ask is, you have this property for sale right now?
Yes, and I had it for sale for a long time, and I have not had one offer. I had the one offer the past few years, $100,000, and they want me to refinance them.
Fair enough. And what are you trying to sell it for, Robert?
I got the list of 145 and trying to get my recover my money.
Yes, sir. Okay. That's understandable. Scott, will you take that little thing off the side over there so we can see the whole thing? We'll get to measuring, I guess, in a bit, maybe. One of the issues at stake here, guys, is that the thing that's checked is incorrect appraised market value.
Mhm.
That's what's checked. Now, he brought up other properties and some discrepancies that he thinks are there. The problem is that's an equity approach to value, and I will rely on you guys to direct me as you see fit. And I'm going to present our case from a market value standpoint.
Sales grid.
Sales grid, that's correct. So this property, we've been talking about it, it's over on Eckery Island Road in Taft, Texas. It's just a piece of land. When you look at the property, you'll notice that there is a adjustment of 5% being in there for something. It could be erosion, I don't know, but it's there. It's a 5% adjustment with a 670 square foot per unit price, 95% adjusted, meaning 5% is taken off the calculated value.
Wait, where do you, and I'm so sorry, where do you see that?
You look at the property card, it's
Right.
right there. It says 95%, 95.95.
Okay.
That's adjustment.
Information.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
No
got it.
problem. So that's there, and then there's some listing information. So when, on the sales grid, comp number 1 is from 2018. It's a land sale of the exact same size. It's a pretty good comp, even though it's old. It's the same size piece of land, sold for $122 in 18.
Now, this is the same size that you have recorded.
Same size as we have recorded.
Yeah.
Correct. And for that, right, what if both of them have erosion? We don't know. I'm not going to say one way or the other. Comp 2, you notice that when we were talking about stuff, we were getting different square footage values, right? The reason for that is because we're calculating the square footage of the land based on the sale price, not the value of the land we have in our system. That's how a comp grid works. So this comp number 2, what it's doing is it's taking all the improvement value out of a purchase price of $205,000. So it's subtracting out $83,195 from the $205,000. Then it's dividing it by the land square footage to say what was the residual land value after the improvements were removed, $8.45 square foot. That's why that number is not calculating the 145 the 145 or whatever it is, like market value for the land. I'm trying to follow this paperwork here. Let me see. I believe
But 90 and 83 comes up to 170, so those.
again, I'll look at anything you want. Just give me a second. They didn't
Okay.
print out all. No, they did. Okay, here it is. Comp number, no, they didn't. I don't have all the pages.
Count number 3 is.
Oh, okay, he's got it. Ones who are not printing out all the pages. Okay, so let me get closer where I can read it. 424 Egery Island sold in March of 2020. It's sold for $348,000. It's got a house on it. You can see it a little bit bigger on the land square footage. Subtracting out that land, I mean, the improvement value of it. It's making an adjustment for differences in square footage, kind of doing that. And then what it's doing is saying that there's $6.91 per square foot of land left after you take out the improvements. It's called an abstraction. It's the way you arrive.
Excuse me, I'd like to interrupt. That $6.91 is wrong. If you divide a 145, 690 to 27,750, it becomes $5.25.
Robert, we are not dividing the land. This is a sales comparison. We are not dividing the market value of the land that we say it is. We are dividing the land from an abstraction from the sell price. We're taking the sell price, subtracting the improvements out, the improvement value out. It's leaving a number, right? It leaves a number, whatever that number is, and then we're dividing that by the square footage. To do the other is not a sales comparison. To go the other way is called equity. It's finding out if we're treating everybody the same. There are two different approaches to value. So one of them takes a sales number. It says this sold for this. How much did it sell per square foot of land? The other one says this is what the appraisal district has values on everything. Is everybody being treated fairly? Those are two different approaches. It's an abstracted value of the land.
So now we're at the protester cross-examined for 2 minutes. Did you hear me?
Robert.
Robert?
Yeah. What I would say is that the MLS number that I gave you, 4 acres for the $300,000 on 840 Egery Island, and the property that was sold 2018 at $120,000, and Comp 1, which is it says $6.02 per square foot. And a market condition, the way it is right now, it's no comparison to, you could go back to look at it last year, because right now, my realtor is saying real estate market is dead. Nobody's calling, and she's asking me to lower the price in order to be able to see if we could get some calls. And I spend the money, they're gonna take the drones to take some picture and everything, and try to do some marketing to see if I can sell the lot. It's amazing that all these years I'm not getting any even offer.
Anything else you'd like to tell us or ask?
No, that's all.
Okay, well, sir, you actually have 2 more minutes for rebuttal.
Well, that's all I got. It's just that looking at the market condition the way it is right now, the real estate is not what we used to be in 1999 or before, because there's nobody's buying the real estate right now.
Okay. So would this be a good time
And if anybody wants to give that lot $138,000, I could sign a paper right now.
Would this be a good time or later?
What, the size? Yeah. He says it's 18,281.
Legally, though, it was losing it due to erosion.
I have one thing to say. Are we in our time or?
No,
Not
but
really.
he didn't say
He said he was finished.
he said he was finished and we're getting ready to go into, well, the district rebuttal and then the closing. So if you want to ask anything.
I don't want to ask anything. I have things to say.
Okay, Ray, do you have any closing?
I'm done. Nope, I'm done.
Do you have a closing?
No, not at all.
Okay, so Ramona, do you want to say it before or after the property owner does his closing?
No, let him do his thing.
Okay, all right, so sir,
Yes,
Robert, you have 1 minute to close. This will be your last opportunity to speak.
okay. My last opportunity is that the appraisal district needs to go look at the property and look at the square footage. It's not a half an acre, 21,000 he's talking about. And based on that and based on the lots that is currently been sold or is on sale is well below $6 per square foot.
Are you done or is that, or do you have?
Yes,
Okay.
no, that's all.
Okay, so now the appraisal review board has 5 minutes in which we discuss and come up with the answer on your property.
Okay,
All right, so Ramona,
Okay, if you look at the picto and look at comp number 1, numbers, the property ID number 62363. Okay,
388 Island Road.
did you find it? You see it? It's the same, it's supposed to, it's got erosion. It's the same exact square footage.
No.
It-
On the same screen, it's right there.
right
There it is. Oh, you went past it. Right.
It was sold for 122.18 2 years ago. Okay, the indicated value comes to 129,300. I'm good with being at the property being at 129,300. It's not the 138,630, and it's not 122.
So
And you're saying, Ramona, you're saying this is the same size?
It's the same size square footage. If you look at the comp number 1, and if you look at the erosion on that property, he's got a lot of erosion there as well. So I'm saying, I think we should, do the indicative value
129,300.
as comp number 1 is,
Yes.
which is 129,300.
Okay, anybody?
I could go.
Are you good, Kathy?
Yeah.
All right, so any other discussion on that?
No.
Okay, so based upon.
can I make a comment?
No, this is our time, sir.
Okay, because I see discrepancy, that's why I want to make a comment.
Well, that was our time, and this is our ruling on the property now.
Yeah.
Okay,
You got
so,
your,
so,
Because there's that,
go ahead.
so based upon what we've heard from the property owner and what we've heard from the appraisal district on account number 63988, and taking into consideration the incorrect appraised market value, and especially considering, and I do believe that we did address the erosion issue. And I make a motion that for the 2020 value on the land, we change the number down to $129,300.
Second,
I'll second that.
in favor?
Uh,
Okay, 129,300 it is.
Did you hear that?
I heard it, but you're not considering that the comp one has a, what do you call a pier or whatever that goes in the water? Mine doesn't have it.
Robert, we've given consideration to all the elements.
Comp number 1 does not have a pier that goes into the water.
But what is that that goes in, satellite shows there's, goes all the way in the water?
It's
No.
not on comp number 1.
Okay, thank you very much for participating.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are we done? Oh, y'all have letters, don't y'all?
It's like,
Letters to read?
oh,
Yeah,
oh.
but there are no more.
I'll go double check.
Oh, we got a bunch of letters. Don't see me laughing.
Can't help it.
No, I don't think they're nasty.
Late request for hearings.
Do we have anybody else before we?
Raise hand check.
Oh, no.
Is, family? Western?
I don't know. Is Mike's whole family?
I think we're,
But his
y'all
whole
just have,
family,
y'all have letters or something like that.
yes, his whole family tested negative.
Are they all,
Staying home.
Are they all?
We're just
I had an
being
appointment
nosy.
with Dr. Soto on Wednesday.
So on letters, they'll
Oh,
just be read.
yeah, they just found out Friday.
Camera, correct?
I'll saw her off. So is she home?
We're just gonna
too?
read
I
on
would
camera,
assume so.
just
But
continue,
yeah, I don't know.
just continue hearings. I mean, as.
Just leave all that on.
Yeah, just to continue as it.
Charlie, I get to read them out loud.
yep,
Telling y'all to give me a heads up so I can practice.
I mean,
It doesn't matter, we have to get through. All right, so y'all ready? Okay, so this is on paper, at the top, it says David S. Gonzalez Jr., 19911 Park Bluff Street, San Antonio, Texas, 78259. It has a phone number and an email. It was received June 26th of 2020, and it came in by email. And the date on this is June 25th of 2020. Aransas County Appraisal Review Board, Highway 35 North. Reference property ID 27968, protest hearing,
Oh,
June 22nd of 2020 at 3 p.m. Okay, now this is dated June 25th.
Correct.
Dear Appraisal Review Board, I received a certified envelope from your office today with my proposed 2020 Aransas County property taxes, which is incorrect. Please review the June 22nd, 2020 hearing records. After presenting my case and after a review board vote was taken, I was informed my 2705 Bay Vista property taxes would not increase. This was clearly noted and restated to me after the vote was taken by your chairperson. I formally request you review the tape transcripts and correct this error. Please forward corrected documentation with no 2020 tax increase.
Does Sal have the minutes from that meeting?
But I don't understand.
He's saying
So-
that we
He's saying,
taxes apparently. They
right,
stayed the way they were apparently. Isn't that what he said?
Yeah, but we don't talk about taxes.
Well, and in addition, no. But he's talking about June 22nd of 2020.
I think what he's saying is not so much taxes, but his assessment.
That's what I meant.
So we need to go back.
So I think that he thinks that there was a ruling in his favor, and it really is going to require us to look at what actually took place that day, because that's what he's asking us to do.
That be in Val's minutes of the meeting? Doesn't you record all that?
Wow.
Go back and listen to it. It's really hard.
For sure, it would be either in the property, or we would have it on audio.
Because I can give you the property ID. Will that help?
Just in this long audio recording.
It's a bitch.
We did pull it up the other day when they called Mike, and you were the one who made the motion. I think.
Yeah, we
one
all
of
had
you two
to get
seconded
the
it.
tape and send it to email it to us, and we listened to the whole, and it took forever to listen to it.
That was a different one, wasn't it? I think this is a different one.
Yes, that was.
That's right.
Okay, you
You're saying
listened
you
to
listened
it.
to
She
this
made the
one.
motion. Maybe I seconded it. What happened?
No, I think Ramona might have seconded it, and
Well, you
to
can-
leave
you
the
can
value
pull
the
it up,
same.
That's fine.
Yeah, I can try.
Val, do you usually have that in your minutes?
I don't keep minutes of the hearing.
The recordings are.
But here's the thing, y'all, we would never it would be rare that this was last week. He
It's
said
an increase in assessment.
on the 25th. Okay, last week we heard him on the 22nd.
What day was that?
That's on Monday.
It's a Monday. And on the 25th, he got a certified envelope with his 2020 Aransas County property taxes evaluation, which is incorrect. So he's saying 3 days earlier, we said they won't be increased.
Did he have a hearing on the 22nd?
Yes. And so that would have been his orders that he got on the 25th.
His orders.
And did we have any indication in the property that says what we did?
It was the motion was made for no change.
For no change.
No change.
And what's he saying we did?
For some reason, he's asserting that you guys told him specific taxes wouldn't increase this coming year.
That's another thing I want to ask. Was he actually on the phone?
Was he on the phone or was this an affidavit?
No, he was
That's-
on the phone. Yeah.
So I guess we need to make sure we state the amount. So I think we have to listen to it.
What I think he's saying is he's looking at last year's and this year's and thinking,
There's not
we
a typo.
we weren't gonna give him an increase.
We didn't type the wrong number in.
That's what I think he's.
He just misunderstood.
I don't know what he's thinking.
He's thinking because we said apparently no change, that it meant no change in his taxes, where what we really were saying was there's no change in the appraised value.
Right.
Now, what you're saying.
Read it again.
I received, okay,
Not all
So
of it, just that one.
this is dated June 25th of this year. It says, I received a certified envelope from your office today with my proposed 2020 Aransas County property taxes, which is incorrect. Please review the June 22nd, 2020 hearing records. After presenting my case and after a review board vote was taken, I was informed my 2705 Bay Vista property taxes would not increase. This was clearly noted and restated to me after the vote was taken by your chairperson. I formally request you review the tape transcripts and correct this error. Please forward corrected documentation with no 2020 tax increase. So
He's referring, okay, he thinks
that we said we won't increase it from last year.
his taxes. He thought that
Can we look at the,
we're not increasing his taxes and what we're not increasing was his assessed value. Right?
can we
Think
look
that's
at
what he
that
thinks?
property card? No.
And see,
Did
maybe-
we change I'm sorry.
What is
No,
that?
I'm agreeing with you and see what, maybe that'll make some of us remember this a little bit.
Is this property out at Sunset, wherever?
I remember the property at Sunset.
Does anybody have the PID,
Wait, what do you need?
the property ID?
27968.
I think we did something with the property.
So just so that I'm clear, we're allowed to talk about this specific property right now, right?
I don't know.
Are we allowed to do that?
Yeah, we have a, we have a letter we have to answer.
Yeah,
And
So
we're being
this was
recorded,
the-
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
this is on the road just off Shell Ridge. It's a hard packed road back here with the sort of,
With the drainage ditches and all?
it's the one with like, it's not on the road, it's
We
a
didn't do
collegiate road. And there's
okay,
no,
I can't understand you. It's not math gaming.
yeah, there's no change that
Right,
was
it's
made.
Kathy, I remember that we did not do it. I know that house. I remember we didn't do anything with that property.
Show us the front, show us the
It's
house.
not, that's a hard packed drive there. It's not a paved road.
Where says that?
This is on, just off Shell Ridge Road.
Oh, didn't we leave it the same?
Yes, it was.
I
unchanged.
remember this house.
I remember.
Because we said he didn't have, his view is unobstructed.
Correct.
And I kind of remember that too.
And it was taken into consideration that that's not a paved road.
Because he was using somebody else's house that had gone real cheap, but theirs was obstructed. And I remember that his was not obstructed, his view of the
I
water.
remember that.
It was not a paved road.
Make sure that the notice value and current value are the same.
They are.
Do we have a copy of the letter that we sent him?
It would be the order.
It's just a, Ramona,
No, I mean, yeah, Val would know that.
but
Right,
I'm sitting here looking at it and it's just it's a form letter.
and this was just handed to me. I'm not sure why, because we usually do the 3 days. But I think it must have been in the Dropbox, and David Gonzalez apparently just called in. Yeah, I don't have any other information. I can get Barbara to
Is
get.
this the same guy?
Who's he?
That's the person whose letter we're looking at right now.
So the form letter that he got says that we did not make a change in his property. Am I correct?
No, well,
It says he wouldn't raise his taxes.
no, here's what it says. It says notice of final order. The appraisal review board has made a final decision on your protest. A copy of the order determining the protest is enclosed with this notice, and then some other legalese. So let me go to the next page. On June 22nd, the appraisal review board heard your protest concerning the records. The board delivered proper notice of the date, time, and place of the hearing. The property owner or agent and the chief appraiser of the appraisal district were given the opportunity to testify and to present evidence. After considering the evidence and arguments presented at the hearing, the board has determined that the protest concerned the following actions permitted by section 41.41A, which is Q01, based on an incorrect appraised market value. Based on the evidence, the ARB makes the following determination. The appraisal records are correct and should not be changed. Okay, so there it said, and should not be changed. The appraisal records.
And that's all we handle. We don't handle taxes.
Exactly. So it's very clear. The appraisal records are correct and should not be changed. And then it shows the 235,320.
What's that?
That's the amount that it was.
All right, so.
Now,
the
he wasn't
response-
one of the ones that marked two things by chance, is he?
Nope.
Two different things?
It doesn't matter. The document is very clear.
It is very clear.
So can
And
Valerie,
that's, we would have ruled on both of them, wouldn't we, Charlie?
Yeah, we would have.
can Valerie or Charlie, either one, I don't know who would be most appropriate, send a letter saying what we determined was that your appraisal doesn't change, however, your taxes might.
We don't need,
But that's not under our purview.
yes, to have it.
There-
show what
there
your
is a
taxes, you
part of me-
contact, blah, blah.
Okay.
It thinks we should, I absolutely believe y'all, okay? There's nothing, it has nothing, but I do think we should hear the recording because then we could say, and we even listened to it. And it was,
What's in the other letter that came from him?
can I open it?
That's up to y'all. It did come in the Dropbox today.
Well, I think since we're dealing with this issue,
Yeah.
I think we
I don't have
should.
any problem. Go ahead.
And don't forget, it needs to be stamped.
Okay.
Okay.
This was going out or coming in?
Coming in to you.
Well, and
Came-
all this is
Is it the same?
it is exactly the same letter. And let me just, there's 3 pages, and it is exactly the same 3 pages. So probably he mailed one and probably he dropped one in your mailbox.
Right. I think he mentioned that he was going, that was like the hard copies that he was.
Oh,
letting-
one came in email, and then this is the one that came into your Dropbox. So that,
Okay, so how hard will it be, Eamon? And can you, like, whip some magic out and we can hear an audio on it?
Yeah, you can give me a few minutes. I'll get it. You might end up being muted while I'm doing it.
That's okay.
Going to.
okay, she'll be mute. Wait, Eamon?
Go on to other letters.
Well, I want to find out if she's going to be muted as far as hearing us or us hearing her.
It's okay. I mean, we can put me on speakerphone and you can see my face over here. So it'll work. We'll work it.
Eamon, are you gonna mute her both from her ability to speak and hear?
You won't be able to hear her.
Will she be able to hear?
Yeah. Yes.
So will it you any if we read our next letter while we're waiting?
No, she just won't be able to say anything. She can call in, like through a regular phone.
You want me to open, on that phone?
Yeah, why don't you ever call in on that one?
Well, she can call it on your phone, that phone's all screwed up.
You want me to call in?
Which one?
Whatever works.
Yeah, go ahead and call in, Ramona.
Okay, I'm calling in.
Thanks.
Is she calling us?
She is.
Yes.
Yeah.
I almost wish we would have just had another hearing and do this. I wish we would have just had another hearing.
Can't do that.
No, I know. I'm just saying I would take a hearing over this.
What is Ramona doing?
What?
What's Ramona doing? Is she calling in? or-
She's calling in.
To which?
Give me a minute, I gotta find it.
Whichever one. Up there, and then they'll transfer it back here.
I think. How many more letters are there?
Now listen, Ryan, you're sounding like us.
Tired.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh God, there's like 7. It's okay.
I'll be back.
It's okay. Well, you get paid the big bucks, right?
I'll be back.
Okay,
Hey,
this is to Aransas County Appraisal Review Board. I, Urban Patek, have been out of commission since April 24th of 2020 with severe health conditions. I had an unplanned time in the hospital with multiple surgeries and amputation, as well as ample time in rehab.
keep going.
There, Ramona?
Yeah, I'm here.
This is Barbara, but
Okay.
yes, she's here.
Okay.
Transferring her now.
All right. You there, Ramona?
I'm here.
Okay, we're reading the next letter.
I'm hearing you.
Okay, so this was received the 24th. I, Urban Patek.
I heard all that.
Oh, you did?
I hear you.
Okay, so I'm gonna go on from where I ended. During the time I was not in the hospital, I have been displaced from home, living with my daughter and her family as 24-hour care has been necessary. Upon returning home for the weekend, 6/19 of 20, and receiving the protest information from you, it was 2 days past your deadline to protest. I understand your suggestions of not waiting until the last day to file a protest, and I would not typically be late for something of this nature. However, due to my extenuating circumstances, I am asking you all to allow for a review for discussion of my case for property number 32349 during this difficult time, personally, nationally, and globally. I would greatly appreciate any response in this matter, and I would be willing to work with you by any means necessary. Thank you, Urban Patek.
It's pretty sick.
Yeah, but he could have had a friend or relative checking his mail.
Well, okay, and that is true, but the one thing I will say is this year, the date that the letters came to us was not as specific this year as it has been in past years. So it was very hard to know when, I mean, like I talked to people who had literally gotten theirs 2 weeks before I got mine, okay? And so because of that reason, I mean, you know, his story does read true, and he was in the hospital getting amputations and all that. I don't know.
What do you think, Ramona?
Ramona?
Just a second. She's
I'm here.
Oh, there you are.
You hang up on me now.
What do you think?
I hung up on you.
Huh?
I said I hung up on you.
Well, that wasn't very nice.
What do you think?
I'm kind of leaning towards, and I know you might, but anyway, it's like Robert said, someone's picking up the mail. And surely somebody's opened it at least to look at bills and stuff.
Kathy?
I don't know. I'm kind of mixed. Half and half. I guess my sad side says, yeah, because it's sad people go through, obviously, pre-medically ill. On the other hand, there's the time about, our issues. Why didn't somebody take on this mail? Even if they did, he couldn't come and protest it anyway. So one could have been already.
Well, and also, during the time I was not in the hospital, okay, I've been displaced from home, living with my daughter and her family's 24-hour care has been necessary. And if you've had an amputation, I would believe that. And having been a caregiver for my mother when she was dying from cancer, I know that when you're in that position, 24 hours a day, you are exhausted and worn out. And maybe you should logically remember that there's bills that have to be paid, so you should get in the car and go drive to the other address. But I'm not sure that you necessarily think that way, because you're emotionally wrecked and physically wrecked. So,
But if he was living with his daughter,
yes.
I
Yeah, but
mean,
we don't know where his daughter was. She could have been in Utah. Say where she was.
But surely this guy's had his mail forwarded for months. I mean, if he's been out since April, I mean, what?
No, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't? You wouldn't bother to pay your bills or worry about your mail for 3 or 4 months while you
I
were sick?
really, April? No, I wouldn't.
Okay.
Most of
I
our
would,
stuff
I
is
would.
on auto pay.
I would.
Well, most of our stuff's on auto pay. So it's like, no, I really wouldn't.
Okay. Well, that being the
When did
case,
he
then
go,
I take it then you would bother to give me a hearing? Is that what I'm hearing? I mean,
No, I'm saying I would give them a hearing.
Okay.
When did
I'm
he
inclined
go?
Huh?
When did he go?
I've been out of commission since April 24th of 2020. I had an unplanned time in the hospital. So maybe he got an infection, went to the ER, and bam, it all went because he said unplanned, with multiple surgeries, an amputation, as well as ample time in rehab.
and now he's well enough to do this.
He sent a letter.
To the type? Email, like, wait, did he email or email it? No. I don't know. What do you think, Ramona?
I'm wishy-washy on it.
Yeah, I am too.
I'm
I
inclined,
have to hear, go ahead, Charlie.
I'm inclined not to do it.
I'll go either way. I'll go with the majority. But I can't make up my mind.
Thumbs down.
Yeah, you're.
Okay.
No.
The
Robert
day-
says no.
The date was 17. He came home on the 19th, which is Sunday. And then June 22nd, he got this letter out. So, I mean,
No.
I don't know, I believe him. I believe him.
I'm inclined not to do it. Ramona?
It's the hard part of all of this, but you know the assessments come out in May. It's the grown-up thing. I don't know.
Robert's not in favor of it.
I'll say no.
Okay, somebody give me a motion?
I move that we not allow a ARB hearing for Mr. Patek due to him missing the filing deadline of June 17th.
Second,
I second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great.
One,
One nay.
nay.
One, absolutely no.
Don't we
Okay.
have to give that to make notes on that for now?
Do you need these to write those on?
And Ramona, Donna is there at
He's
your
over
house.
here.
Oh, sorry. Donna is there at your house. We wondered if you could just run those affidavits out real quick to the port.
Yes.
Thank you. Sorry to interrupt the meeting on that.
That's okay. We're a mess anyway.
I can't believe her dog didn't bark. He must not be there. Or she, Lucy
Okay,
must not be
next letter.
Okay, this is Margin Forney, LP, 1919 Mossback Circle, Fresno, Texas, 77545, June 22nd of 2020. Appraisal Review Board Aransas County Appraisal District, property ID 57561, owner ID Citus, it's 5451 Loop 1781 in Rockport. Appraisal Review Board, I have received the 2020 Notice of Appraised Value for the subject property. Due to health reasons beyond my control, I was delayed in reviewing this notice until Saturday, June 20th. I respectfully request the ability to protest this appraisal. Although I do understand this request is being made past the June 17th deadline. The 2020 appraisal for the subject property increased 226% from that of 2019. Clearly, there is an error. I feel a further review is warranted given this excessive increase and the pertinent reasons for a lower assessment. I will not burden the board with that detail at this time, but I am available to do so by phone, writing, or in person. Whatever process is most convenient for the board. Your attention to this matter is greatly appreciated. Larry Forney.
We have properties, the 200% increase.
Surely this could be a
Yes.
25-25 case. Can we check it real quick?
No, we can't.
We can't check it.
No.
Okay, not even just to
Can't even look
verify.
at the property.
Okay.
See what
No.
it is.
Well,
So here's my other question. Can we leave it that if this property is indeed a 25-25, that we'll hear it, and the district could look and see if there was a 226 from last year to this year, which would be
You can't do it that way. We have to have the hearing in order to be able to establish the value before we test it.
no,
You gotta.
we have to establish the value of the home, and then we don't go, oh, you only have to meet 200,000.
I
First,
said we have to establish the value of the property
we
and
did
then test it.
backwards. Right,
so it sounds like it's potentially a 25-25 case, so I think we need to hear it. You know, that would be the only reason.
He
to
didn't
hear it.
request it as a 25-25, did he?
Okay.
I didn't hear those words used at all.
Really have to do that.
Do they, I don't think anybody knows what a 25-25 is.
this year we're doing things so differently.
Did
It's
he-
very
Did
confusing.
he present a good reason for needing to be heard?
Health, you just said health reasons.
Due to health reasons beyond my control.
That's up to y'all.
Just based on that, I would say no.
But if it's a 25-25,
So every case that you hear late is potentially 25-25. What that part of the code is doing is not allowing you to do something. It's preventing you from doing it. You're not permitted to change the value if it's too small of a change when it's late.
right,
And that line is put at a quarter or a third, depending on whether or not it's homesteaded.
right.
So whether or not you should hear a case late is an issue in and of itself. And you just determine on the face of that, do we want to hear this case? Even if
No,
you agree,
because we can't.
if it doesn't hit the line, the minimum, it's not enough of a change to allow it to go back and have Jerry do the bill and potentially have the issue a refund, et cetera, et cetera. So you just hear the case and then say, look, we agree with you, but it's only 8%, so nothing can be done about last year's value. It does not meet the requirements of section 25-25. That's what the 25-25 change is for.
Now, this is a pretty weak in terms of justification. I mean, there's
I
nothing
think the
really-
other guy had a stronger case.
There's nothing really here.
Because the request for a late hearing doesn't assert, he's not presenting a market value when he's requesting a hearing. He's just saying he thinks we're wrong. there's nothing to keep anybody from just requesting a hearing and saying the house is worth $1, and then everybody gets a hearing. The 25-25 is a restriction against what you can do. It's not letting you hear somebody. It's saying if your change is going to be really small, it doesn't get changed.
I don't think we should write it down.
Yeah, just what he said about his health condition, I would say no.
Could be a sore toe. I say no.
I say no.
Ramona?
I agree.
Okay. Can I have a motion?
Let me make a motion. I think
Somebody
you got
make a motion and I'll second it.
You let the paperwork go bit.
Okay, so, on property ID 57561.
I make a motion that we decline the, what's the name?
For, Larry Forney, I guess, I'm,
Decline Larry Corney's request for hearing, based on health issues and, leave the value at whatever it's at.
No, you can't say that.
No, okay.
We
We
declined it.
decline to hear.
I second it because I don't think there's enough information to be able to grant a hearing.
In favor?
Aye.
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 Huh?
Next.
You wanna,
She said aye.
Are you ready?
you wanna do your.
I'll do it after this. Listen to this. Are we ready to attempt to listen to that one? Okay.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Can we look at the?
Would you like to look at that?
Yeah, really good. It's all art.
Okay, similar problem to what we're having before. So somebody should probably listen to it close to the speaker. I bet Ramona can probably.
I can't hear it.
It's not playing right now. Just a second. Ready?
Yeah.
So, sir, we're looking at, we're just looking at the overhead view of the property.
Sure. And then one time. So for the record, this is the page street which is shown is.
Okay.
This is part after third in the back on Vegas. Did I say that correctly, sir? That the Vegas is hard pattern? Okay. But the 2713, it wasn't 2711, 2713 that's referred to. It's on the same street. So
Where is, do you know which one it is?
it's the one that's highlighted.
Right next door to him.
Yeah.
Oh, it's right next door.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right.
This is the subject. This is the one that he referred to.
Got it.
I believe that show that these properties exceed show that this property is at price effectively at 235, 220, and
Second.
I'm suggesting that we leave the value at 235.
So I'm gonna pause it real quick. So if anybody's having trouble hearing,
Mike,
you said that you think that, you said, I think he's shown that the value of the property exceeds the equity value and that we should leave it at the 235,420. And that it should be unchanged. You said 235,420. And then you look at for a second. Ramona says she agrees.
I said I agree.
Okay.
Is that a second? I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
This is possibly the more relevant part. I know.
Okay, thank you for participating, sir. You'll get a document in the mail. not change the value.
Okay, I did not hear that. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Okay.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
He
So
said,
that part was very plain.
You did not change the value.
But I think in his mind, it's possible he thought it different, but it's very clear that she said that 235 and all that.
And it's very plain.
Huh? What,
I
Ramona?
said it was very clear. I could hear it.
Okay, did you get that? Val?
Yes.
Can you architect a response based on what you heard?
Sure.
Okay,
Well, and tell him that the appraisal review board listened to that tape, and it was very clear that that the number 235, whatever, that number, it was spoken, and that we were going to leave it at that 235 number.
Might want to put in there
But
also.
we went through the transcripts.
Well, he's referring to taxes. I think he's confused in that his taxes didn't. I think
Well, we just need to reiterate that it's the appraisal.
he's about his taxes and needs to get in touch with the tax office. We don't handle
No,
taxes.
but a lot of people just say that word, that they're talking about what they were appraised for.
The tax rate hasn't even been set yet.
Well, that's true too.
so that segs into the other thing that I was gonna say from earlier. So we had a property owner that was doing something else, had to come in here, and they wanted to see the evidence broadcast through Zoom. Everything that we have in the evidence packet is sent to them in advance. He has a copy, the property owner who did the protest gets a copy of everything that we present. So they're not, when we're presenting evidence in that time, it's the district communicating to you, the board, not to the property owner. The property owner is not being communicated to at that point. He's given the evidence
In advance.
directly, and he can go over it whenever he wants. That's why there's no time for the property owner to understand the evidence during the hearing. It would take too long. So our system is set up so that we can show things to you and to Ramona, but not necessarily the property owners. Anything that we present, they will have it received. And if they didn't get it, we really can't present.
But if you're showing it on Zoom, if you're pulling up to the documents on Zoom, so Ramona can see them, so could anybody else who was on Zoom.
Yes, they could.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's not something that we like. It's an extra bonus if it works out, great. But the property owner cannot rely on getting evidence through Zoom. They've already gotten their evidence in other ways.
okay.
You know, and what I'm saying is it's about understanding where the communication happens. In some other more formal districts, the process is very weird and robotic. That way these kind of things don't happen. That way it's very clear, you talk to this person at this time, and then you don't talk to each other after that. And what's happening with this property owner, this is why it's a good segue, is when you make a motion and then it gets seconded, you're communicating among yourselves. You make a motion, as long as everyone here understands the decision, that is what matters. His communication of the decision is the letter that y'all send to him subsequent to the hearing. So that letter that he got saying, hey, this is right, that is the decision. The decision is what he gets notified of, you know? And
right.
So y'all I wouldn't worry too much about making sure when you're doing your deliberations that the property owner is getting all of it, because it's really secondary to whether or not it makes sense to everybody here. Everybody on the board needs to be slanted towards you as far as understanding what motion's being made and, you know, how the decision's going.
Okay, and you should work into the letter some sort of words to the effect that that document you received is the final statement on the matter.
Yes, I do.
Got that?
Right, nothing else is gonna come to you from here.
Right.
We're done.
Right.
Yes. And what y'all did when you checked the hearing was make sure that letter matches your needs. which it does.
Right.
Okay,
Mr. Powers, do you want to sign this letter I'm going to draft, or do you want?
sure.
Yes, okay. great.
Why not? I'm already his big, his good buddy. I've told my wife on numerous occasions, this is how I make friends and influence people.
Okay, so y'all ready for the next one?
Yes.
Okay. This is on property number 33511, dated 6/22/20 to Appraisal Review Board. My name is Alvaro Caldera. My cell phone number is, and my residence address is 1212, no, is whatever, Rockport, Texas. The reason I am writing this letter is because I couldn't reach anyone by phone before the deadline, which was June 17th. I have more than 10 properties, and most of them, the appraisal value has risen considerably. And since they are several properties, the amount of money to pay on taxes is considerable. And I would like to have a hearing with a member of the appraisal review board to see if I could get any help. And it says, thank you, and then it's signed by Alvaro Caldera.
We don't do personalized. Eric,
You had the opportunity to go online.
I don't understand why you couldn't get
You
it.
couldn't, their phone's not that busy. I make a motion that we deny this.
I second,
in favor?
Aye. For a reason of, there is no good cause, and
No, good cause.
everybody's been able to get through on the phone or what, or email.
Yeah.
And by online, I mean, that's pretty,
Okay,
pretty.
got it. Okay, this is from J.N. Henley, Henley, in Rockport. Property ID is 65158. Appraisal Review Board. Hello, I am writing to, and it's dated, it didn't date it. Appraisal Review Board. Hello, I'm writing to request a review of the appraised value of property referenced above. With the few improvements I've done, I would place the value at $50,000. I realize this is a late request. No excuses. Thank you. And he has a phone number, and it's signed J. Henley.
It's a very nice letter,
It is.
but there are no excuses.
No excuses.
I make a motion that we deny the request of Mr.
J. Henley.
J. Henley.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye. Okay, this is on property ID 24604 to the Aransas County Review Board, to the board, and it's dated June 8th. I am writing to request the board to allow me to go forward with protesting the taxes of on my property of Bay Shore Drive. I have not been able to reestablish a mailbox at the property due to my older age and construction from the hurricane. Therefore, I did not receive the appraisal notice for 2020. Upon this discovery, we went online today to see what the appraisal is and realized we have missed the deadline by 1 day. Please accept my deepest apologies on this and allow me to protest the taxes for this property, which is still in unlivable condition since the hurricane. And then it signed Kenward F. Kohler Jr. Did we have this one already?
It sounds good.
This is exactly what we had the other day.
Is this the exact letter?
I don't think it's the exact one.
Because it comes from a different city, a different address.
The folder on that one.
I swear, I think,
It's similar, but I don't think.
Exactly the same, I swear.
Maybe they compare.
and it says Buffalo Park at da-da-da-da.
Yeah, that's it.
I think it is.
No, it's a
Huh?
letter.
Lori got another letter from him?
It's a letter. It was a letter, yeah.
Yeah, it was last Friday, Thursday, I believe.
What,
Well-
does he give any return address at all on the envelope or any?
Yeah, it's in
Yeah, that's,
Moulton. I swear this is the same
Is it the
one.
one Moulton,
Moulton,
Texas? Yeah,
Texas.
we've heard this.
And
oh, so he used a different address this time.
this one is dated the 18th of June.
Yes, so it's this one. This one is handwritten. Is that just a copy?
No, well, it looks handwritten,
Yeah, it does.
so.
And it's PID 55629.
246.
Either way, he's got a PO box in Fulton.
He does?
Isn't that what you told me?
No, no,
Moulton.
Moulton,
By LaGrange.
Moulton,
So they
Moulton, M,
He's got a PO box.
Moulton.
It's his responsibility.
Yeah, I agree. It's personal responsibility there. He needed to change his address. That's what we said the other day
Yes.
with the appraisal district. So
Okay,
I would make a motion then that we deny the hearing.
second,
I seconded.
in favor?
I,
I think, did we also say something about that this in no way changes his address? And so
Right.
maybe were you going to put something in the letter that if he needed to, that it is the property owner's responsibility? I don't know. Is there a,
We sent him a change of address form for him to fill out and send back to us.
because that letter doesn't do that. And we don't want him to.
Right.
Okay. B, De Puma Incorporated, doing business as Bipolar Insulation. That's cute.
That's a scary name.
Yeah, it is. In Portland, Texas. And this is dated the 21st of June. Property ID is 56631. The legal is Burton and Danforth, block 237, lot part of 12. 1414 Highway 35. Anyway, okay, dear appraisal board, this letter is to request the board consider my later filing of the property appraisal protest for 2020. In my attempt to file my protest of value for the above listed property located in Aransas, Texas, is due to my placing the letter containing the protest in the wrong box at the Aransas County Public Works offices on Highway 35 North in Rockport, Texas. I mistakenly placed the letter in the mailbox, not the tax office drop box. The letter has since been returned to me as needing postage. I would like for the appraisal board to consider my request for a reappraisal of the property
No, I've heard them all.
of the value.
does he have a copy of the stamp in the envelope?
Hold up, we're not done. That's right.
Does he have a copy of that?
Hold up, yes. Hold up.
That's what
Okay, the letter has since been returned to me as needing postage. I would like for the appraisal board to consider my request for a reappraisal of the property value as the building on the above listed property was seriously damaged during Hurricane Harvey, and I'm in the process of removing them. They add no value to the property and have hindered my attempts to sell the property. I appreciate your consideration for granting me a hearing with the board to discuss the property valuation. Sincerely, Bruce D. Puma. And here is a letter that does have the postage mark, return for postage.
Does it have a date on it?
What didn't that postage in
He
the first
didn't
place?
put it in a public mailbox. He put it in another city or county drop box
It doesn't require postage.
that wouldn't require postage. However, I would say if he can't figure out the difference between whatever box he put it in and the ACAD box,
Look, if it doesn't have a date on it, we can't, I don't feel like we should accept it.
Well, this
It's
is,
a stamp from somebody.
this is very odd. It does not have a date on the envelope, which is kind of odd.
That's
It
what I'm
doesn't
saying.
on the envelope that has the red returned for postage. So I would think that the post office always puts a date, because I think they even write the date in.
I
on
think
a-
it's handwritten by sometimes.
Well, but it's a stamp that says return for. Well, but it's behind, this is his one that has a stamp and it's dated June 23rd. My point is, I don't know. I mean, maybe we can ask the post office.
They're not gonna remember that.
Huh?
They're not gonna know it.
What,
They're
Ramona?
not gonna remember that.
No, of course they're not, but I'm saying, it seems like to me, when you get a thing that says return for postage, that, I think they put the date on there, but
What
I don't know.
difference?
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you. Would you put your assessment in the Public Works mailbox?
Public Works Dropbox.
I think he's referring to the public, building on the third, not the post office on Pearl Street.
Right. But I mean, if you're putting it there, hello, it's Public Works. It's not the appraisal district. It's not the tax office.
It isn't, but you know, Ramona, not every, but it doesn't matter because this doesn't have a date on it as when he mailed it,
I don't think
so
it makes any difference.
there isn't any proof. No, I'm
I mean, we,
not saying we should.
Okay, well then
And
let's
make a motion
proceed.
for-
Oh, this is so weird.
Motion.
like Charlie said, ooh,
Okay, I make a motion that we deny Mr. DePuma address on the letter, that we deny him a hearing based on his description of misplacing this letter in a Public Works Dropbox.
Second,
Second.
in favor? Aye.
Okay, to who it may concern, appraisal board, unable to protest appraisal due to mail not coming in time. All right, and this is Patrick and Nicole Sanchez, property ID 29997, Oak Terrace, okay. And it says, protest appraisal increase in value. The walls, flooring, trim, bathroom, and garage are incomplete. No change in repairs from prior year, protested increase in value.
When was it made? But this is a late request, right?
Yeah, so it's all about the.
It was received, it must have been put over in the box over there. It was received here June 23rd, so.
So same thing.
And hello, their letter for notice of protest is dated 6/22/20.
You're late.
Yeah, that's right.
So I make a motion based upon this letter that we deny a hearing to Patrick and Nicole Sanchez, property ID 29997.
Second,
I'll second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, Mr. Jimmy D. Evans in Austin.
How
June
many
9th.
more of these do you have?
We're almost done. It doesn't matter. We have to get through this. Let's put on.
you're cutting it into the Scotch time now, Cindy.
That's right. She's
I'm
the
trying
only
to
thing.
read quickly.
She's the only thing. See my Scotch.
I'm trying to. It's from Jim Evans in Austin. And it's dated June 19th. Aransas County Review Board. Property ID 25305 on Finisterre in Rockport. Dear sirs, Excuse me. Excuse me. Okay, here you go. All right, we're seeing how this is
Still on
sounding.
YouTube and
I-
stuff, right? Yeah, we're still live and everything.
Yes.
Just a reminder.
Keep it professional.
I am writing in regard to our above mentioned property in Rockport. I realized that yesterday was the deadline for receiving a protest of property appraisal values. I would like to request you to hear my case, even though it is after the deadline. Unfortunately, we no longer receive mail at the address in Rockport due to the toxic mold problem and ensuing remediation that has been going on since September of 2019. Some, but not all mail is forwarded to our Austin address, but I have friends in Rockport that will send us mail occasionally that is still left in our Finisterre mailbox. The Finisterre house is still uninhabitable due to most of the interior walls being torn down. We have not been able to stay at that house since September of 2019 and probably will not be able to return until early August 2020. I am certain that the value of our Rockport home is currently nowhere near the appraised value. We paid $28,645.59 in taxes last year for a house that was uninhabitable for a third of the year. We urge you to consider our request to hear this case. We want to make Rockport our permanent home and pray that our local leaders are just and fair. Yours truly, Jimmy Evans. And this was sent through the mail on the 19th and was received here June 23rd.
Sounds like he's had his mail forward, but sometimes it doesn't get forwarded.
But that's not.
But they know that the statement comes out in May.
So they should have been looking for it.
Well, and
I think
did they change their 27 did they change their mailing address?
He said that some mail was forwarded, so he must have.
But he
done
didn't say
something.
this mail.
Yeah.
No.
So
No.
that he has a thing forwarded at the post office, but even all of that, none of that is our fault.
None of it.
And
no, it's not.
bring us a thing from the post office showing that his mail should have been, all of his mail should have been forwarded. But right now, we don't have anything.
No.
I'm not inclined.
Okay, so I make a motion based, Ramona, anything different from you?
No, I agree.
I make a motion based upon what was presented in the letter and the information that we have on property number 25305, that we do not grant a hearing,
Second?
a late hearing.
Second.
I second it.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, Aransas County Appraisal District, property ID 24701, Appraisal Review Board. In regard to property ID 24701, we would like to respectfully request an ARB hearing for the 2020 appraised value. The date of our notice is May 18th, 2020. However, we only received it in our box yesterday, which is clearly past the deadline to file a protest. We sincerely appreciate your consideration of our request.
What happened on May 18th?
We would, but the thing is, there aren't any envelopes or anything attached.
That's it, just that little letter.
And it says it was received June 25th by, Val. So would that have been by email? Maybe?
What he's saying is it didn't show up until several weeks after it was mailed, it sounds like.
The date of our notice is
It's
May.
like 6 weeks. So come on.
there's no envelope attached, and it probably came to one of our emails.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
so we have nothing, I mean, we would need to see the envelope that has the date of the 18th on it. And then we don't.
Yeah.
So therefore, based upon what we have in front of us on property number 24701, and Sharon R. Rowe, managing member of Little Fall Properties, I make a motion that we do not grant hearing, a late hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You don't get the vote.
Stephen and Gail Dentler, this is dated June 23rd. It was received here on the 25th. They're in Victoria, Texas. Property in question, let me see if I can find the property ID. It's on the Boardwalk Avenue. Appraisal Review Board, property in question. It's an address on Boardwalk Avenue, Rockport, Texas. To whom it may concern, I am writing this letter as a formal protest of the increase in appraised value for the above listed property. I apologize for the delay in submitting this protest, as things have certainly been unusual of late, as I am a physician in Victoria and have been working extended hours during the COVID-19 outbreak. I hope you will consider this protest and take into account the information presented below. Our property at blank Boardwalk Avenue has been assessed a 25 increase in value. We feel this is excessive considering the increases in other properties in our same neighborhood. The increases are as listed below. Their address on Boardwalk is 25%, our residents. There's another address on Boardwalk was 15%, another address on Boardwalk 14%, and another one on Boardwalk that was 9%. No other home in our neighborhood is over 5%. We made no significant improvements to the house, and so we do not understand the justification for this significantly out of line increase from our neighbors. Again, we apologize for the delay, but please feel free to contact either by email or by phone. Thank you. And it's Stephen and Gail Dentler in Victoria. And here is a tax notice of protest. They have checked in section 3, value is unequal compared with other properties. We are in section 4, additional facts. We are the highest tax increase in our neighborhood at 25%. Two others are 15 and 14 increase, one at 9%, no other greater than 5%. And it says they want to do it in person. And then it's signed by Stephen Dentler.
Sorry, he's had to work long hours, but I don't think that's.
Ramona?
I agree. Between the two of them, somebody should have been able to put together even a written protest.
On time,
I agree.
an on-time protest, you mean?
What?
An on-time protest, Ramona?
Yes, I'm sorry.
I agree.
Okay, so I make a motion on, I don't have a property
Just do it by name.
identifier. Let me see if it's, no, it's not on here. Sorry. So that Stephen and Gail Dentler, but I do need to ask one question. So Are they asking, I just want to make sure, is there any way they're asking for that 25/25 when they said 25%? I don't know. Do you?
Without looking at the property, which we can't do, we don't know that it's 25%.
$25.
Got it.
You said 25.
No, Paul, the main thing is late.
Yeah. Like,
And there are two obviously intelligent people who could, one of them could have done it.
Okay.
Yes.
I make a motion based upon the letter that we received from Gail and Stephen Gentler on their property on the boardwalk, that we deny a hearing, a late hearing of protest.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
How
Here's
many more?
one more, this is it. Okay. This is dated, it was received June 25th. To whom it may concern, I realized today, 6/23/2020, I missed the deadline of 6/17/2020 to file an appeal. I have been and considered an essential employee and have been working during this time. I did not realize how much time had passed. I am requesting, if possible, an extension for an appeal on the 2020 appraised value of property ID 57167. It's McCampbell, block 10, lot 14. It's in Aransas Pass. Thank you for your consideration. And again, it's Aransas Pass address. Sincerely, Lindsay Walters. And then attached is a notice of protest, and they have marked incorrect appraised market value under section 4 additional facts. There has been no improvement to the land. The pasture lost top layer soil after hurricane, no grass, just weeds. They would like a hearing by telephone conference call, and they request it to be delivered by mail. And Lindsay Walters is the property owner, and this is dated 6/23/2020.
I'm not inclined to, just because we lost track of time because he's working.
Okay, agree. Anybody feel differently? No. Okay, so I make a motion on property ID 57167 with the legal description, McCampbell, block 10, lot 14, on Johnson Road in Aransas Pass, owned by Lindsay Walters, that we do not grant a late hearing.
All in favor?
Aye. That's it.
End of the letters. Does anyone else have anything else that they need to deal with today?
Good grief, no.
Can I have a motion?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Sure.
Say bye to Ramona.
Bye, Ramona.
I'll see you guys tomorrow.